Where is that pen? Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So we talk about what? Nah. Probability. What is probability? So let's talk about it. Key terms and applications. This is your brand new subject, fundamental mathematics. Okay. So today we're going to learn some key terms and concepts that will help us understand the probability, right? This is just an intro today. We will not do too much. So what is the probability firstly? What do you think probability is? That's concerned with or chance phenomena. Can you give any example of the chance phenomena? Firstly, we call it an experiment. If you do something and it gets some outcome out of it, it gets a result out of it. Maybe I give you the question, I told you multiplication question, and give me the answer. So you do something and you get the outcome. It's called an experiment. It's called what? But some experiments are random. The crux of this is the random experiments. Some experiments are random. What does that mean? We'll see that. Okay? And from that actually the probability comes in, that what you think out of your brains, what is probability? Yes, random chances of something happening, right? So let us formalize this thing. So firstly, that's considered the random chances of phenomena. It was in games, okay, where you get the chances. It was an Italian mathematician, Jerome Cardan, who wrote about the subject. Then it was the Pascal and Fermat, actually, who excelled that. And then there were European and Russian scientists, okay, who actually worked on it, the subject, as a subject, right? And there's always the cards, okay? We need to learn about the cards also. Because game of card is actually the probability kind of thing. So who will win and who will not win is the probability. Okay? So what is an outcome first? What is an outcome? Because I said any experiment, anything what you do and there is an outcome is an experiment. So what do you think the outcome is? The result, yeah. Possible result of an experiment so whatever the experiment you are doing, what is the result? What is the outcome? For example, you have a dice. You roll it. Okay? So what can be the outcome? You know, these are our outcomes. Okay? So 1 through 6 are the outcomes. So this is the outcome. These terms are in the syllabus, so they may come in a short type question. So don't take them easy. So what is an event in the probability? We have a dice and we can give it 1 to 6, right? But now I am creating a criteria. I'm creating a criteria that what is the probability of even number coming up. So that thing is an event. That thing is what? Event. Even though when we roll a dice, there only one thing will come. Either it will come 1 or maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. But what is the chances of even 2, 4, 6? What is the chances of? Because I set up a criteria, that is my event. So what is the chances of my event to happen? Got it? So event is actually from the outcomes, whatever the outcomes we have from all this, what is the probability of that, what I'm saying? Okay? So that's called an event. Got to come back to it again. So probability is the likelihood of an event occurring. So what is the probability of an event now? What is the probability of event? यानी कि जो आपने बोला उसका क्या probability है, वो कब आ सकता है, ठीक है ना? You getting my point? So we have here Professor A, Professor B, Professor C, and Professor D teaching, right? So what is the probability that mathematics is taught by Junaid sir? Okay? Now you are putting within the professors Junaid sir. What is the probability? So this becomes an event. This becomes what? That this probability will be taught by the Junaid sir. Getting? Okay. So calculating probability. So how we calculate probability? So definitely you will divide the number of favorable outcomes by the total number of outcomes. Simple as it is. So you have the total number of outcomes, say for example dice. So what is the probability of 2 coming in the dice roll? You have a dice, you roll it, and I say what is the probability of 2 coming up? 1 by 6. Very good, because you have 6 number of, because there can be 6 outcomes, the total number of outcomes divided by what you are saying. Okay, number of favorable outcomes, whatever your event was, and by the total number of outcomes. Okay, so that is, if you say for example you have the even number, we say event is our even number, and we want to roll the dice and check the event if it is either 2, 4 or 6. So the favorable outcomes are 2, 4, 6, which are satisfying our event, just satisfying our, they are 2, 4 and 6, and total are how many? 6. So 3 by 6, that is 1 over 2. 1 over, so this will be the probability. So probability is simple. What the event you have, the number of favorable outcomes divided by total outcomes, right? We'll do little problems on the understand. So what are the winning or losing? How many wins you can have? It comes to the arrow. 4 or 4 loses, right? So total number is 8. Your winning is, or losing or winning is 4. So probability of winning or losing is 4 divided by 8. Total number 4, right? So that is 1 by 2. That is 0.5 or 50%, right? Getting? So 4 by 8 is now 4, 1, 4, 4, 2, 8. 1 by 2. 1 by 2 means half. Half means 0.5 or 50%. Getting? What about this? अरे यार, ये आगे जा रहा है. Okay, this is done. This one. Now, what is the sample space in probability? What is the sample? We saw the outcome, we saw the event, we saw what is probability, we saw how we calculate the probability. That is total divided by total and favorable. And what is now the sample space? These are your syllabus topics, okay? The short questions will come from this. So mind you these things. So what is the sample space in probability? Sample space is a set of all possible outcomes of an, जितने भी outcome आ सकते हैं. Head and tail मेरे पास है. Coin, head and tail. What are the possibilities? I have dice. It can be either 1 or 2 or 3 and so on. So if it is a dice, a flip a coin, it will be head or tail. Okay, this is a sample space. If it is a dice, there will be 1 to 6. This is called a sample space. यानी कि total number of outcome कितने आ सकते हैं? Simple as it is. Okay. It is the end of day, but you should a little bit smile. I know you are tired and all, Ramadan, and you are tired. Let's do a little funny way this class. Okay, Hibashi? Hibashi is all the time smiling. That's good. Now, random experiment. I told you that if we do something and there are some outcomes, Ikra, coming up, and we call this an experiment. We call it what? Like you mix up 2 chemicals and some bomb, then you explode something, okay? Somebody's head, maybe. So that is an outcome. Explosion of the head. Oh, tu Hibashi khush ho rahi hai explosion ke liye. Getting? So, but, for example, I say you, it's a triangle. It's what? A triangle. I give you 3 angles and tell you what is the sum of the angles of a triangle? 180, right? That's the thing. I gave you different. This is 90, this is something, is 45, this is 45. What is total? 180. Again, this is 70, this is something, this is something. What is total? So this won't be called as random experiment. Because outcome is coming all the time same. And it is predictable. It's what? Before giving me a number, you can say, sir, it's 180. Don't give me numbers. So don't even listen numbers, you say 180. Sum. I will give you the 3. This is experiment, right? Because I'm giving 3 angles of the triangle, and I tell you what is the sum of the angles of triangle, right? Before I'm telling you, you're telling you 180 because it's predictable. Magic hai kya? But you know already, right? So this is not a random experiment. Random experiment is something where one time one output come, other time other output come. So there is randomness in it. right? That is why we can say what's the probability of this thing coming, what's the probability of that thing coming, because we don't know. So this random experiment is, which is unpredictable. Number one, it should have different outcomes. So only two things it should have. We call this a random experiment, right? Observe the following situation. We toss a coin. We know in advance that coin can only land in one of the two possible. So it can be head or, will it always be head? It can be, but we have to do a little cheating. Actually, head side बनाऊं थोड़ा गुप, ठीक है? Sometimes we, in a childhood we did, with a coin, we rub it on the other side to make other side what? So all the time heads. Getting? So that we don't have to do that here, because it has to be, the coin has to be fair. It has to be what? When we speak of a coin, it's to be a fair in that sense that Hibashi has done no shaitani with it. No shaitani. Right? So it should have, it can be either head or either tail. But it is sometimes, when I was a captain of the team, maximum times of the captain of the team, cricket team I'm saying, even the football team, I usually, win the toss. You know why? If I send a head here, just check it out. I had done it, the practice of it, because I did not the practice of cricket, I did the practice of winning toss, because toss winning is important in the game. What I did was, I remember this time, that for example, there's a head on the upside, and you give it a little height, it will go ahead. If you give less height, it will tail. I don't know how it happened, but it happened. Okay? All the time, maximum time I can say, I won those tosses. So, you just tried. But if it flipped, you give the height, and then it has something happened, it's not falling properly. It rolled or something, it will be tail. It was like that. So if you go up, little height, you give little height, it will go, if it is tail on top, it will fall down as a tail. And if you give little height, it will go opposite. This was my trick of winning the tosses. But it is again a trick, but it's a random experiment, because we never know what will come up. It could be head or it could be tail. So we cannot predict. Even though I was predicting that was a trick kind of a thing, but we cannot predict if it is then we can say it is a random experiment. You throw a die, okay? You throw a die. What will happen? Will all the time 6? Then there will be no Ludo and all games. You will all the time win, because तुम्हारे इतने लिया लाइस. अगर 6 दो है पे, ठीक है? Even some people have that trick of flipping like 6 ही हो रहा है ना खाली. मेरा एक फ्रेंड था, वो करता था उसमें गड़बड़, उसको अक्सर 6 पढ़ते थे. और मुझे क्या पता था, लूडो गेम होते हैं ना वो सांप सीढ़ी एंड ऑल, मुझे हमेशा 1 पड़ता था. सच में मुझे 1 को मेरे साथ कुछ था, वो हमें जब मैं डालो 1, अबे यार लूडो वाली गेम मैंने कभी आज तक जीती नहीं है किसी के साथ. Suppose we throw a die, we know 1 to 6. You plant a seed. आपने 4 seeds plant किए. If you 4 seeds plant, so कितने पैदा हो गए? Germinate कितने हो गए? It could be either सारे मर गए, किस्मत खराब थी, या 1 पैदा हो गया, या 2 हो गए, 3 या 4 हो सकते हैं. So we don't know. We don't know, right? It's a random experiment, right? It's again dies a well balance. ऐसा नहीं करना कि गड़बड़ करोगे तो उसमें 6 ही पड़ेगा. पता नहीं मोहम्मद यही कर रहा था, जो 6 पे वहां हमेश. So tossing a coin, throwing a die, planting a seed and all that, random experiment. Possible outcomes of the random experiment of tossing a coin are head and tail. इसमें क्या है? इसमें ये थे हमारे पास outcomes. तो more than one possible outcomes पहले होने चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं कि आपको एक ही outcome होगा तो वो तो कोई random नहीं होगा. पहली चीज ये है कि more than one possible outcomes होने चाहिए, and it shouldn't be predictable, right? Now some more examples. Drawing a ball from a bag containing identical balls of different colors. आप बैग में नहीं दिख रहे हो और निकाल रहे हो, so definitely it's a random experiment, right? So कभी आपको नहीं पता किस कलर की निकलेगी. आपने कार्ड निकाला डेक से, ठीक है? Now the cards have a deck of playing card consists of how many cards? क्योंकि probability में अक्सर cards होते हैं, so we should know about these cards. So we have 52 cards which are divided into 4 suits, 13 cards each. ठीक है? जैसे आपको स्पेड है, हार्ट है, डायमंड है, क्लब है, ठीक है? They are 13 each. They are 13. Total is how much? 52. जो स्पेड्स है और जो क्लब्स है, ये क्या होते हैं? काले. ये काले होते हैं और ये वाले होते हैं, ठीक है ना, and others are red. The cards in each suit are ace, king, queen and jack. They are ace, king, queen and jack. लगता है तुम लोग ताश खेलते हो सारे, हैं सबको पता है, actually मैं ये पता है. So 10 बाकी को numbers होते हैं ना ऐसे. Cards of kings, queens and jacks are called face cards. Are called what? So we will have one assignment on you that you will tell me about all the card structures tomorrow, right? If somebody has cards, then Uno cards and something card, if you have, get them here. If you don't have, no problem, just work it out. How in the cards, 52 cards, which is king, which is ace, spades and all, identify them. So इसमें तो फिर पता ही है ना हमें कि इसमें एक मैंने रखा था, वो पता नहीं कहाँ गया. नहीं है. अच्छा, आंसर दीज क्वेश्चंस. अबे ये कहाँ चला गया? No. Check your progress. Okay, check your progress. Question number 1. Which of the following is a random experiment? Which of the following is a random experiment? Look at it. What is the answer? 1, 2, 3, 4 में क्या आंसर है? Read and tell me which of these are random experiments out of these 4. Are all random experiments? What is random? Sadia, what is random experiment? Name, what is random experiment? Explain me. What is random experiment? Which is unpredictable, number 1. Number 2, which has more than one outcomes. Okay? और कभी कुछ भी आ सकता है ना? Okay? It's a chance what will come. That will cause a random experiment. So पहला वाला random experiment है? Suppose, who is saying no? Suppose you guess the answer to multiple choice question having 4 options. आपको 4 options है A, B, C, D. ठीक है ना? In which only one is correct. सिर्फ एक correct है. कौन सा correct है? पता मत है ना? It can be A, it can be B, it can be C, it can be D. So it is a random experiment. Then you do na gel. You put up ये वाली choice. So you don't know which choice is correct. So this is a random experiment. What about this? The national number 1 to 20 written on a separate slips. Separate slip पे 1 to 20 लिखेंगे हम. ठीक है? One number on one slip. एक slip पे एक number रखेंगे, उसको bag में डालेंगे. फिर आपको बोलेंगे कि without, you draw one slip without looking at it. This is random because we don't know कौन सा आएगा. 20 आएगा, 1 आएगा, क्या आएगा. This is random. कुछ भी आ सकता है ना. And can you predict क्या आएगा? We don't know. 20 में से कुछ भी आ सकता है ना. Getting. You drop a stone from the height. You got a stone and you drop from height. So what is this? Is it a random experiment? Not at all. इसमें तो एक ही चीज है, नीचे गिर के टूटेगा और क्या होगा. So उसमें कोई different unpredictable कोई चीज नहीं है. If I say 3 times, I give you 2 numbers, 3 times 4, and I tell you 20 times 3 times 4. I give you the question to solve 20 times, 3 times 4. But all the time I'm saying 3 times 4. What will be the answer? 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 4 is 12. The next time I'm saying again 3 times 4. What will answer? Again I'm saying 3 times 4. What is the answer? So it is not a random experiment. It's because it's giving, it is predictable and it's giving same answer all the time. So it's not a random. Right? So it's very simple, huh? Each of Harry and John. Harry and John. Harry and, it's not Harry by the way, it's a Harry. So you Sham and so Ram and Sham, no, it's a Harry and John. Harry and each of them chose one of the numbers 1, 2, 3 independently. इन्होंने 1, 2, 3 numbers लिए independently. दोनों ने. तो हैरी ने कौन सा लिया, जॉन ने कौन सा लिया? रैंडम, वी डोंट नो. व्हाट आर द पॉसिबल आउटकम्स? इसमें क्या, तो व्हाट विल बी आंसर? 1, 2 and 4. 1, 2 and 4 are answer. So what is the possible outcome of 1? पॉसिबल आउटकम क्या आ सकता है? या तो ए आएगा, या तो बी आएगा, या सी आएगा, या डी आएगा. सो पॉसिबल आउटकम्स आर एबीसीडी, राइट. इसमें क्या पॉसिबल आउटकम्स है? 1 to 20. इसमें क्या पॉसिबल आउटकम्स है? द पॉसिबल आउटकम्स कैन बी 1 1. उसने भी 1 चूज किया, इसने भी 1 चूज किया. इसने 1 किया, उसने 2 किया, इसने 1 किया, इसने 3 किया. सो 1 1 1 2 1 3 और 2 1 2 2 2 3 3 1 3 2 3 3. These are the possible outcomes. ठीक है? We'll continue this class tomorrow. It's the beginning day. Others are absent. See you tomorrow.